Welcome back, Episode 3, State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. This week, we're brought to you by a brand new sponsor, Coach, Texit Coin. It's a fast and affordable blockchain-based cryptocurrency founded by a guy named Bobby Gray, Coach. He's a Texan. He created his 4 Texans. It's mineable only in Texas. I don't know what you know about cryptocurrency, Coach, but Texit Coin is here to stay, and they're a brand new sponsor of the show and friend of the program, so hope you're okay with that.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. Happy that they're supporting the show and interested to hear more about it.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll have plenty more to tell you later. But before we get to that, let's talk about North Carolina. Congratulations. We're fresh off an off week. You've had a week to process it. I know you're on to bigger and better things with Abilene Christian this weekend. But before we get away from North Carolina, 48-14 final score. Everything on the menu went well from our perspective. What can you tell us about the game?
Yeah, it was a good start to the season. You know, I think the 3 things that we wanted to address, going into that game were try to get through fall camp as healthy as we could. And I thought we did that. And then the 2 things that we needed to do to help us win the game were win the turnover battle. We won 3-1, scored 2 defensive touchdowns. Obviously, when you can do that, that's a great way to start. And then we had to be more physical and run the ball and dominate the line of scrimmage. And I thought we ran the ball better. I thought we stopped the run better defensively. That's been a point of emphasis for us to shore up the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Thought we did some good things in that regard, ran the ball better than we have in a while. So it was a good start and something we can build on.
So your quarterback, he's a hot topic these days. He looked like a veteran there. He played really, really well. Any comments on Josh Hoover?
Yeah, I thought he really did exactly what we wanted him to do. Took care of the ball for the most part. We got an interception on a tip ball on a screen, but besides that, played really clean. He was very patient. I think he's got a lot of confidence in the supporting cast, the receivers. We were able to run the ball effectively. That takes a lot of heat off your quarterback when you can do that. And we played really good defense. And so I think, that affects your quarterback too and makes him just understand, hey, look, I just got to go and do my job. I don't need to try to do too much. And really thought he looked like he was in midseason form. Took care of the ball, made great decisions. Was very accurate in his throws. Did a good job with his decision making. A couple things that we can improve on in that regard, but overall it was a great way to start the season.
Fair statement that you're the whole gamut of offense, defense, special teams all played like an experienced unit in this game.
Yeah. I thought we did some good things. We didn't really get a chance to return kickoffs. They kicked it in the end zone, so that's something that's going to be tested this week. Thought we covered kicks well. Didn't punt the ball as well as we need to. We got to improve in that area. But overall, I felt like our special teams were pretty solid and did some good things. And so, a lot of little things we can improve on. A lot of things we have to get better at. But a good start for sure.
I don't know if you pay attention to the internet like we do as fans, but the internet's taken off with this one and run wild. I'm sure you've seen a few or heard a few things about Bill Beliichick and this being his biggest release of points ever to another team. That was a big moment, I guess, for you. I don't know if that means much to you.
Yeah, not really. No, it didn't mean too much to me. I mean, he's obviously one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the greatest. And, we're just happy that our players could go out and perform at a high level. We talked to our guys about how much we respected him and his history, but it's a player's game, and it's about those guys going out and making plays. And thought our staff on both sides of the ball did a really, really good job getting our players ready to play at a high level. We had to make some adjustments defensively early in the game that got us on our heels, and credit Andy Avalos and the defensive staff. Those guys made those adjustments quickly and then really played at a high level after that. And thought Kendal Briles called a heck of a game, so good way to start.
Yes, sir. Did Coach Belichick have any words after the game when you guys?
No, just kind of typical stuff. Just kind of congratulated me, and I just wished him the best. And it was a great atmosphere. I'll say that. I mean, the North Carolina fans showed up. It was a lot of fun things in pregame and a great stadium and a great crowd, and thought our guys handled all that really well.
And I know you don't focus on what's going on in the stands, as you shouldn't. You're focused on the game, but this has been one of the most star-studded games we've ever seen with Michael Jordan, the Roy Williams, the Randy Mosses, the Lawrence Taylors, Mia Hamm's. I'm going on and on.
Yeah,
Eric Churches. Yeah. It's unbelievable. And not to mention we had Chancellor Pullen, AD Mike Buddy, and Andy Dalton showed up, and there's a lot of people on the scene. Does any of that trickle down to you at any level?
No,
fair enough.
It was, I mean, I kind of heard a little bit about it beforehand, but no, I mean, like I said, once the game kicks off, it's about the players that are playing the game, and And again, our guys did a good job of staying focused.
The ones that were there in the baby blue didn't hang around too long. The stands actually look empty toward the end of the game, which is an amazing thing in itself. But congrats on that game. I'm glad that it's behind us now. With the momentum you seemingly have, and it's only game one, how do you keep the kids focused and moving forward building?
Well, I think they recognize there's a million things that we can do to get better and improve. Lots of mistakes in that game that you normally make in a game one, in ways that we can get better and improve, and we know we're going to have to. I mean, the competition is going to do nothing but continue to get better as the season rolls along. And so, the one thing we talk to our players all about is our job is to reach our potential as a team, and those players, that's their job, is to reach their potential individually, so that we can reach it collectively. And that's really what it's about. It's about guys going out, practicing, improving, doing everything they can to put themselves in the best situation that they can possibly put themselves in to perform at a high level on Saturday. And that's really what it's about. And so our guys had a good week of practice last week. We came back on Sunday after having Saturday off, and had a great feel at practice, very competitive practice. Got an early start to the week, got to put some things in on Sunday, and then had a great practice today on Tuesday. And so I was really pleased with how our team practiced and the mentality that we have and our desire to get better.
Everybody healthy from the game?
Yeah, didn't have any injuries at all. Came out of there incredibly healthy for game one for sure.
We did notice Chase Curtis got his bell rung a little bit in that part of the game.
He's fine.
Eighth-year veteran Chase Curtis. Explain how that works real quick, just so guys can understand.
Yeah, he started out as a college baseball player in a junior college in Kansas, and then has had a couple of injuries and got some years restored, and so. Yeah, he's obviously a tremendous leader and a great veteran. He's one of our captains. Our players love and respect him. He's a really tough-minded guy and a big part of our program.
Very nice. Coach, we'll be right back to talk about Abilene Christian. Before we do, we're going to meet one of your former employers from a long time ago, Mr. Finn Ewing, if you'll let us talk to him briefly about this. But we'll be right back with State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes, brought to you by Texit Coin.
Texit Coin is a fast, Layer 1 digital currency designed for generations of honest trade. In many ways, Texit Coin is like Bitcoin. It uses blockchain technology, the decentralized public ledger, to record transactions. Texit Coin makes it easy for anyone to participate in the digital economy. Like Bitcoin, Texit Coin can be traded for other cryptocurrencies or cash. But unlike Bitcoin and other leading cryptos, Texit Coin can only be digitally mined in Texas. Unlike Bitcoin, Texit Coin is run by a leading team of alternative currency experts, people with decades of experience who don't hide in the shadows. And best of all, unlike Bitcoin, Texit Coin is leading the way on a globe-changing mission, the secession of Texas from the crumbling United States. Join us as we build the world's largest decentralized cryptocurrency mine. Put control of crypto back in the hands of individuals and away from mega corporations, banks, and foreign nations. With Texit Coin, we can leave the world a better place for our children and future generations. Don't worry, it's not too late. Launched in 2008, it took nearly a decade for Bitcoin to gain global recognition. And although many agree crypto is the future of money, worldwide adoption of cryptocurrency is still less than 1%. You may have missed your chance to get rich with Bitcoin, and maybe again with Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, and thousands of others. But it's not too late to win big with Texit Coin. Get started now before it too becomes a global sensation.
Kevorian Barnes is out the gate, inside the 30, to the 10. Touchdown TCU, 75 yards and no flag.
Welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. We're joined on set with obviously coach, but one of Sonny Dykes' former employers from years back, Mr. Finn Ewing. Finn, it says here you are a 1980s TCU grad. You run the Ewing Automotive Group. You're a Texas Golf Hall of Famer and a Cotton Ball Hall of Famer. These are impressive things to say. You do a lot of other good for other people, but thank you for joining us, and thank you for, I guess, guiding him in the right direction once upon a time.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure he's ever gone in the right direction.
Tell us what you can about Coach, if you don't mind.
You know, one time, I got to tell you this because this is a good story. One time, Spike called me and he goes, you know, you're going to work 3 of my players this year. and Sean Hurd, and there were 3 or 4 of them. And he said, I want you to work Sonny. And I said, well, he ain't gonna be in Dallas. He goes, yeah, he's at some baseball deal, and I want him to work there. And he was real tall and real skinny, and I mean, he looked like he had to jump around the shower to get wet. And so he came out there, and those guys back then, they didn't work, and he worked his rear end off. I got to tell you, and none of those other guys. I remember I woke up Sean Hurd 100 times back there sleeping in the body shop closet.
Yeah, I was a janitor. I worked in the back. Got a uniform, had my name on the uniform, the whole thing. It was awesome. I had a good time. Got to live in Dallas. I was playing baseball in the DABA, which was a kind of a college league at the time, and a really good competition. But it was a fun time working for Finn, and I didn't screw anything up too bad. I made it through the season somehow, or through the summer without getting fired.
Sounds like you guys have remained friends through all this, which is fantastic. What do you know about Finn, Coach?
I mean, a lot. Probably too much. The one thing you forgot is, Finn is a singer. Has a band now, and they travel all over the United States playing, and full-fledged entertainer now. So it's
what's the name of the band, Finn?
Finn Ewing in the Wrong Direction.
All right, we'll have them. Let's check that out.
If
for
the
sure.
shoe fits.
Yes, sir. Very good. Very good. Do you have any good Spike stories you can share for us in the meantime?
Yeah. So one time Spike called me and he said the Southwest Conference meetings are going to be in Dallas, so I want to play golf at Brook Hollow. I said, okay, who are we playing with? He goes, well, we're going to play with David McWilliams. He was a coach at Texas at the time, and he said we're going to play with Jackie Sherrill. I said, all right. So Spike and I were partners. Jackie's partners with David. Jackie is a very good player. David cannot play a lick. And then Spike and I were both, just average. So we get to Brook Hollow, and Spike makes this bet. As you can imagine, there's 100 presses, and it's for all this money. He'd spit at a crack for $1,000, So we got all these bets going, and we play 17 of the worst holes we've ever played in our lives. And we get to the 18th tee, and we are losing every bet, and he's pressed every bet. And I'm going, I have never hated you like I hate you right now. And he said, well, you're going to hate me worse. And so he looks at Jackie, and he goes, I'm going to triple press every bet we got right now. And I said, no, Jackie, he can't do that. And Jackie goes, he's already done it. It's done. Spike stands up there, and he rope hooks it out of bounds. And I said, I thought I hated you more then. It's now is when I hate you the most. And he called me Button. He goes, Button, watch this. He goes, I'm triple pressing the ball that's out of bounds and the one I'm getting ready to tee up. And that's what we're going to do. I said, no, I don't want to do it, Spike. He said, I don't care. That's what we're doing. So he hits his down the middle. I hit mine down the middle, and Jackie hits his down the middle. And he's messing around over there. So we get up there, and I hit mine first, and I hit it about 10 feet. Jackie hits it. No, Spike hits his next to 2 inches. And I said, I knew what I wanted, and I wanted you to do all those presses because now I think that's awesome. This is what I always wanted. I said, I'm just going to go pick mine up because it doesn't matter. I got a 10-footer, and you're up there at 2 inches, so you got a birdie and a bogey. And he said, I don't even want to hear from you. I said, no. This was my idea. This is all. The only thing I wanted was for you to press. And so Jackie hits his ball, and it goes in the front left bunker. And so I'm going, come on, baby. So Jackie gets up there, and he hits it from the front left bunker to the back right bunker, and from the back right bunker to the front left bunker. And to Jackie Sherrill's credit, he paid us off right there. And, I mean, he had to go to the car out of his trunk. He had some stash back there. It was an all-time Spike moment.
Very nice.
It all sounds incredibly familiar.
Sure. That's true, too, right. So you graduated in 1980 from TCU. How do you compare, what were the years like in football in 1980s, early or late 70s?
You know what? I looked this up. When Dykes came here, we won, I think, 7 games. And I had 5 seasons, but a little extra time. You got to have a little extra time.
Right.
I think we won 7 games. Mm-hmm. That we were.
Yes, sir.
We were terrible.
We're definitely in a better place these days. So
it dang sure is. This is unbelievable. And to the Dykes family, I'm never going to cut him any slack, and he's not going to cut me any. But the Dykes family is my family, and they're the most fun, greatest group. BB and Rick and all of them are crazy, and so am I, and we have a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for being here. I know you're a big friend of the family, friend of the program, so we appreciate all you do for a lot of people, even outside of football. I know your golf is kind of the theme of your life in regards to helping people. You're Texas Golf Hall of Fame member, and you're not even a good golfer, according to you, yes.
And
which
really,
is amazing.
really terrible.
Yeah, really terrible.
Very nice, very nice.
I got as much football ability as I do golf.
Well, before we go, Finn, Coach, anything funny we can talk about with Finn Ewing?
Where did he get started? He's the best, though. Really
Best.
is. Like family. Just, like you said, helps a lot of people and doesn't want anybody to really know about it. And I think that's a sign of somebody that's really special and unique, is they help a bunch of people and just want to do it because it's the right thing.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for sharing that. And Finn, thanks for joining the program. We appreciate all you do for a lot of people out there. So
Appreciate it. Go Frogs.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
go Frogs.
Well, that's another segment for State of the Frogs. Your head coach, Sonny Dykes, and Mr. Finn Ewing. Coach, will be right back to talk about Abilene Christian before we get out of here.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome back to State of the Frogs with your head coach, Sonny Dykes. Coach, it's Abilene Christian week. Game 2, 7 o'clock, first home game at the Carter. What do you know about Abilene Christian?
Yeah, good football team. I mean, a team that took Texas Tech to overtime last year and went for 2 to try to beat them in Lubbock. Won a playoff game last year in the FCS playoffs, ranked 13th in the country this week in the FCS poll. Really good team, well coached. Keith Patterson, their head coach, is a really highly regarded, highly respected, defensive coach and has been around. Does a tremendous job at creating pressure and uncertainty for the offense. And Graham Harrell's the offensive coordinator. Graham's been a bunch of really, really good places, had a ton of success everywhere he's been. And so they'll be well coached. They've got a lot of good players. When you turn the tape on, you can see the players, tons of speed at wide receiver. Veteran quarterback that's really a good player, can make plays.
Fort Worth guy.
Yeah, Fort Worth guy,
Birdville.
that's right. And can make plays with his feet and throwing the football. An offensive line that's real athletic. And then you look at their defense, and they're all over the place. I mean, they're going to chop the front up. They're going to pressure you. They're going to overload you. They really do a good job of creating negative plays and getting you into third and long situations and then overwhelming you with blitzes. And so our players are going to see that they've got a good team. Really had a good win last week against Stephen F. Austin. And so I think the team improved tremendously from week 1 to week 2, and going into the third game, they'll be ready to play.
I was going to mention Jordan Vaughn and Javon Gibson, their running back and receiver respectively. Those guys seem to stand out on paper, at least. Do you know much about that?
Yeah, the big running back's big, powerful guy, finishes runs really well. Hard guy to tackle, really, really strong. Receivers, they've got 2 or 3 receivers that have tremendous speed, can make things happen after they catch the ball. Gibson was a really heavily recruited guy coming out of high school. And so they've got a lot of really good players and kind of elite level talent.
You mentioned Graham Harrell earlier. Is this somebody you know well enough to call him up? And you guys have any conversation during this week?
Not this week, no. You kind of stay away from that during the week. But Graham, yeah, I mean, look, I've known Graham since he was 17 years old. We recruited him when I was at Texas Tech and got to know he and his father and family really well. And so known Graham for a long time. I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. Going in the College Football Hall of Fame as a quarterback at Texas Tech, and just a great guy and really good football coach.
Yes, sir. What people think they would wonder is, do you know how Graham operates, and does Graham know how Coach Dykes operates?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you look at his stuff at his offense. I mean, it's a lot of air raid based concepts and stuff that I've been pretty familiar with for a long time, and then he sees kind of the same thing with us, a lot of concepts and stuff that makes sense. A lot of times you can kind of throw that stuff out. Like I said earlier, it's really about the players and how well they're prepared and how well they go out and play.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, we look forward to this weekend at 7 o'clock at the Carter for Abilene Christian, our first home game, first night game. We're excited. We want to thank Finn Ewing for joining us on the show. Good luck to you. Look forward to seeing you next week, Coach.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
That's been State of the Frogs. Your head coach, Sonny Dykes, brought to you by Texit Coin. Thank you for the folks at Texit Coin for all they do for us and for the program.